Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy. Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be fan casting my potential idea for who should be in Knives Out 3. This is something that's kind of trending on TikTok right now. I think that they recently confirmed that Knives Out 3 is officially going into productions. They're starting to work on a script and all that jazz. And I kind of wanted to come on here and just kind of join the trend a little bit. And before I get into my actual selections for who I think are going to be the main characters and kind of like trying to put people in specific spots that I think they'd be good in, I'm just going to list off 7 kind of honorable mentions, people who I would love to be in this movie. And specifically, I've got a bunch of duos that I would love to see on screen together. But that being said, I don't necessarily see how they would work into this movie. And on top of that, this movie needs to have like an insanely high budget to have all these actors that I want. So the first ones, these are all these honorable mentions. For one, I feel like Ewan McGregor would work incredibly well in a movie like this. And because Ewan McGregor is incredible, I also want to see Hayden Christensen, because I think it's crazy that he's finally getting the recognition as being an incredible actor from the role that he played like 15 years ago, give or take, where he played Anakin Skywalker, and a lot of people like apparently really hated the role. I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. I have just watched the prequels of Star Wars for the first time like last year, so I never really understood any of the hate that he got. I also don't really know how much hate he got. I just know that for a while he didn't act, and now he's finally back and getting the recognition he deserves. So that's the first honorable mention duo, would be Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor. And then the next duo that I have is Lemon and Tangerine from Bullet Train. We got Aaron Taylor Johnson and Brian Tyree Henry. Both of these actors are incredible. They have fantastic chemistry. They're hilarious. They have an energy that I think would work really well in a movie like this, because in my opinion, I think Bullet Train is a good movie that works like this. Like, honestly, if you took the cast of Bullet Train and threw them in a Knives Out movie, I feel like they would all work really well. But specifically this duo together on screen would be awesome. And then this next one, probably my final little bit of these honorable mentions, we got Oscar Isaac and Pedro Pascal. Once again, these guys are best friends, and I feel like seeing them on screen together would be incredible. Pedro Pascal is kind of like the it boy of Hollywood right now. He's kind of showing up in literally everything, and he's a huge actor, big name. I feel like he would definitely draw attention to this movie. And then also, he definitely has shown with his commercials for the weird mobile phone app, which I don't know if you guys have seen this. I think it's called like Merge Mansion or something like that. They got Pedro Pascal to do commercials for that mobile video game. And I think it's absolutely hilarious, because in it, it's like some like murder mystery, something weird happened in this house type thing. And that energy, low-key, would translate incredibly well to a Knives Out movie. And then Oscar Isaac, just because Oscar Isaac is incredible in everything he does. I love him. But yeah, so those are all honorable mentions. Now we're going to dive into like the actual ones. I'm going to kind of put these characters and actors where I think they would show up in the movie. So let's dive right into this. So before I actually dive too far into this, I kind of want to talk about Knives Out, the movie franchise, and everything that I think they do really well. So first off, the Knives Out movies are an incredibly cool movie concept. They have this kind of like Eat the Rich vibe, where it's the main protagonist or whatever is usually somebody who's relatively poor going up against these people who are absolutely rich, and the rich people typically think that they are better than they are. They pretty much think that they are better than other people, and they think that because they are so rich and powerful that they can't be toppled. And it will have Benoit Blanc basically going to this family and not necessarily screwing them over, but like kind of humbling them a little bit, which I really enjoy. So that being said, I have some actors and actresses here that I think are not in the kind of the spots you would expect them to be. Actually, it's pretty much just one, but the reason I have them in the spot that I have them in is because I don't want it to feel like a different movie. Because I was kind of doing some of my fan castings, and I was like, wow, I just want this entire cast of this movie to be in it. Or likewise, the Agatha Christie movies, the Haunting in Venice, I had like 3 actors from there originally, and I was like, wait a minute. The reason I think they would work in this is because they've been in a movie similar to it. So now that I got that out of the way, the first character, our focal character, the main actress who we're going to be focusing on this movie, I would want it to be played by Letitia Wright. I think she is incredible, and I feel like she doesn't get a lot of recognition because a lot of her biggest roles have been in Marvel movies. But I think that in the second Black Panther movie, she showed that she could lead a movie, and her acting style is fantastic, and I think that she could play serious very well, but she could also play comedic in moments where we would need more comedy. And I feel like she has a very similar energy to Janelle Monáe, maybe not the same, not as wild per se, but like I think that she could play a genius incredibly well, and I think she would be great in this leading role. Now, I didn't really come up with an entire plot, so I don't see exactly how each individual actress and actor will play a role in this movie, but I just kind of have like certain relationships that the characters can potentially have with each other. So the first two I have are kind of people who would be like relatively like preppy sisters, or just like best friends that are, you know, besties. The actors and actresses that I'm talking about are Florence Pugh, which I know she's fan-casted in literally everything, but it's because she is a phenomenal actress. And like I said, she kind of is like how I mentioned earlier, Pedro Pascal is like the it boy or whatever of Hollywood. She is one of the like main actresses right now who she is hot. She's in everything. And Hollywood is loving her, which rightfully so. She's fantastic. So I have her, and then I have Anya Taylor-Joy. This was the one I was talking about earlier that was like, she might not be in the spot that you'd expect her to be in. Originally, I wanted Anya Taylor-Joy to play like the main actress and the person who we follow, and then I realized I was literally creating the menu, and I think she works incredibly well as that poor person amongst a bunch of rich people, but I also think she could play a rich person who's kind of like preppy as well, because she has incredible range. So I would have those two in it. I'd have them be sisters or related in some way, shape, or form. And yeah. The next one, I could imagine a world where this is like their mother, but we have Cate Blanchett. I think that Cate Blanchett is an incredible actress. She brings this great presence on screen anytime she shows up in anything. I think that she has a great sense of humor, and she can play somebody who is kind of preppy as well, but on top of that, she just has this like aura to her that she's a badass. She really is. And I think she can kind of bring that to the table, whereas I think that Florence Pugh in this role and Anya Taylor-Joy in this role can kind of just be more preppy, kind of like, imagine like Cinderella Stepsisters types. Cate Blanchett would be like the stepmother who is actually a badass and can be kind of intimidating and scary to go up against, and I think that she would be great in this role. And then the next combination, we got kind of like a father-son combination. I already mentioned him in the video, but Brian Tyree Henry, I think that he would be fantastic in these movies, and I think that he's just an incredibly actor who needs to be in more stuff, and I love him here. I don't know exactly what I would want his role to be, but I kind of like the fact that in the first, movie, there was Chris Evans, who's an actor who you typically want to see win, and you want to see him be like a good guy. I feel like he could be that character in this. I think that he could potentially be the bad guy, but because he's such a likable actor, people wouldn't see it coming. And then the son, I think, could be Caleb McLaughlin from Stranger Things. I have another person from Stranger Things later. Don't attack me. I think that they're relatively good actors and actresses. And then I believe now that Glass Onion is like a Netflix property, so it makes sense that they would be getting people from Netflix properties to show up in this. So but yeah, Caleb McLaughlin, I think he just has an incredible energy to him. I think that him and Brian hold up, I need to look up his name because I keep butchering it. Brian Tyree Henry. I think that they both have very similar energy, like when it comes to like the comedic side of things, and then on top of that, when they have serious moments, they both can do serious incredibly well, and they can play emotional very well. And yeah, I'd like both of those actors. I think they would potentially do really good in this. Okay, and now I wanted like a relatively like older actor, and I thought that this guy was a lot older than he is, and I don't know why. I thought he was older. But Ke Huy Quan, I think that he's incredible. And once again, in like literally everything, I think that he brings an energy that would just be incredibly fun to see on set. And he's just another one of those actors who I'm like, he's kind of grown a lot in popularity over the last couple of years. So putting him in this movie would just be like a great move in general. And then I think somebody who could be related to him potentially, Steven Yeun, the actor from Beef. I think he's fantastic. He just won a couple of awards for the Beef show. So once again, having him in this would be fantastic. And then I believe Beef was on Netflix. I don't know if it was a Netflix original or if it was just something that was on Netflix. But once again, if Knives Out 3 is going to be a Netflix movie, getting somebody in the Netflix wheelhouse just makes sense. Next one, he's currently very hot. Well, I mean, he's always hot. But Glenn Powell, I think that he is fantastic, and he's currently getting a lot of praise for his role in Anyone But You, and people want to see him in a lot of rom-coms. I think that he could just be kind of like a really hot idiot, and I think that it would be a whole lot of fun if he's just like maybe dating Florence Pugh's character or Anya Taylor-Joy's character or something like that, and he just has no idea what's going on. He could be kind of like the character from the second movie who's just like the hot supermodel, and like if it wasn't for their assistants, they would be pretty useless. And I think that that's kind of the role he could play in this. I just think he's incredibly funny, and his comedic timing is fantastic. And I'm realizing that I'm saying that about a lot of these characters. Apparently, I want Knives Out 3 to just be a comedy. My bad. And now I just have 2 more actors and actresses who I think would be fun in this role. I don't necessarily have any specific spots where I think that they could fit in. But I think that Natalie Dyer, oh wait, it's Natalia, isn't it? Natalia Dyer from Stranger Things, once again, I think that she could be fantastic in this. I think that her acting chops are really good, and I think she could play serious roles incredibly well, and I think that she could be somebody who kind of you would assume did something wrong, because she can play that, like, kind of you want to hate the character kind of energy, and I think that she could definitely play somebody who, like, gets pissed off and is very moody, and definitely seems like somebody who would be triggered easily into potentially murdering somebody. And I think that Natalie Dyer in that role would work really, really well. And once again, she's just an actress who I feel like doesn't get a lot of credit where credit's due. She's fun. She's fantastic. And then the last person, this is a young actor. Something that I really like about the first ones is that there's really different generations of, like, ages mixed in here. So there's, like, some, like, relatively old people, middle people or whatever, and then there's a kid. And I think that the kid's role in it is fantastic, because he's somebody who's just constantly on his phone, and there's, like, an actual, like, murder and, like, trial and everything that's going on here. They're doing a bunch of detective work, and meanwhile this kid is just being, like, a little shit on his phone, who's, like, not really doing anything too serious. And I think that Jacob Tremblay would be incredibly fun in a role like that. I think that he definitely is kind of starting to get a couple more roles in some more serious projects, which is great for him. But I've loved him since I've seen the movie Good Boys, where he was, like, I want to say he was probably like 13 in that movie or something like that. And he's just incredibly talented. And I think of the young and upcoming actors who are under the age of 18, he is phenomenal.
I'm the son of a businesswoman, and I think we both know if you didn't want to buy the doll, you would have left already. Stop treating us like kids. We know how things work. So do you want to buy the CPR doll or not?
Fools! I'd have paid 1,000!
Anyone else feel like he's gonna fuck that doll?
But yeah, that's pretty much all the roles that I have. I didn't come up with a plot outline for this, so a lot of these fan castings are just random actors and actresses who I think would work in a Knives Out type movie. But I realized while I was trying to make this fan casting video, almost every actor and actress in Hollywood could potentially work in a Knives Out movie. So that being said, if you disagree with me, feel free to disagree. Tell me the people who I have said who you don't think would work in this movie. And then otherwise, if you have people who you would love to see in it who I didn't include, add those as well. Because let me tell you, I had a list of about like 20 people on a couple different note cards. So narrowing it down to the people I just narrowed it down to was a little challenging. But that being said, that was it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming by and checking it out. I love and appreciate you guys so much for watching. And if you liked it, feel free to like and subscribe. And I'll hopefully see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Bow, bow, bow. Eyes wide open and they're all on me. Tell me what's happening, I cannot see. It's like I have a power they can see through me. And if I'm being honest, that's transparency or invisibility. But let me walk out and I'll leave.